40 kilometers east of Windhoek, the capital of Namibia, we find a place where humans care for wild animal orphans, mongoose. Heading up the sanctuary is Marlies van Vuren. Animals are her life, and she has a rare connection with them, from the biggest to the smallest, the most endangered to the most abundant. Her husband Rudy is a medical doctor and shares his wife's love of wild animals, which can come in handy if a vet isn't available. But all he really wants to do is fly his Cessna 182. Zachio is going to follow in his parents' footsteps and has the fantastic opportunity to spend his formative years growing up in the great outdoors, where he has lots of animal as well as bushman friends. The ancient art of tracking still survives with a handful of bushman trackers. Kivit is Nankuse's expert in reading the signs in the veld. And then, of course, there are the really wild inhabitants of this amazing sanctuary. In this episode, Umbili and Shakira are growing up fast. Almost a year old now, they need to learn how to hunt. The baby baboons are introduced to the juvenile group, and it is not without incident. Marlies takes the 3 cheetahs for their walk in the wild. And Umbili and Shakira also get some exercise.
Just under a year ago, we flew to a farm in the northern parts of Namibia to rescue 2 leopard cubs. The farmer had shot the female leopard, believing that she was responsible for killing his livestock. Unfortunately, she had 2 small cubs, which they tried to hand rear. They were not successful, and they phoned us.
Bringing them to Nankuse, Marlies had to take over the role as their surrogate mother. Raising leopards in captivity is not easy, and because of their size, they're also dangerous. Although ferocious and without fear in the wild, leopards tend to avoid contact with human beings. Once raised in captivity, they lose that fear and could pose a real danger to people if released back into the wild. But Marlies had no choice. The cubs were too small to fend for themselves, let alone learning the necessary skills to hunt and survive in the wild. Taking them for walks in the veld gives Umbili and Shakira the opportunity to do what little cubs do best: play and explore their environment, and climb trees, with a bit of help from Marlies.
This is so lekker. Oogjes is eindelijk toe.
But cubs grow up, and living in the house, they soon started to pose a threat to Zachio, especially Umbili.
Umbili, no! Come on, get off there! Come on!
Moving them into their own enclosure solved that problem, but they still have to be exercised and disciplined. And for that, Marlies needs help.
Kundas! Kundasie! Nee. Wait, Livy. Ai.
Darcy and Obot have seen many orphans grow up at Nankuse, and the 2 leopards know them well and treat them with respect most of the time. Fortunately, they're still too young to be a threat to the dogs, but the play can get a bit rough at times.
And Das and Obed are role models for Mbili and Shakira. And with their help, I've been able to raise so many animals here on Nakusei. Like, for instance, the leopards. With their help, I have the ability to control the leopards, and also they discipline the leopards constantly. But if we are in the leopard camp, we're in their territory. And then, the dogs really get tired and fed up of being pounced on constantly, and they want to get out.
During feeding time, Marlies separates the two cubs as Mbili fights with Shakira over her food.
We used to feed them together, but around about a month ago, Mbili started changing his behavior. He started attacking Shakira when it's feeding time, and he will take her meat from her, and he was injuring her badly. So that's the reason why we put him in this cage, and when he's done eating, he can go out, and then they're all honky-dory, and they're happy again, and they're friends again. But at feeding time, we separate them totally.
After both of them have eaten, they can play and explore together. The baboons at Nakusei are divided into 3 groups: the babies, the juveniles, and the adults. As the youngsters grow up, they are moved into the next group. The babies sense that something out of the ordinary is brewing.
We've now decided that today is the day to move the little ones into the juvenile group. But first of all, we're going to remove Blomiki, which is the matriarch of that group. Otherwise, we will have huge conflict, and it's just their first day. We don't want her there, so she should be out.
What did you try to do there? Put the blanket up.
The only way to catch Blommy is to lure her into a cage with food. Sounds easy enough, but Blommy is not that easily tricked and outsmarts them.
Yeah.
That's an intelligent baboon.
Eventually, the temptation of a second banana gets the better of her, and they succeed.
Sorry, Blommy. You're not dead, don't worry.
At least you got a banana.
Thinking that they're going for a walk, the babies are very eager to get out of their enclosure.
These situations can be very unpredictable. No one knows how the baboons will react. So we will sit down and hold the babies. This will give them a sense of security.
Fortunately, everything goes well. Kyla immediately takes to Shauna and grabs her from Carol. Lala gets a bit jealous and tries to take Shauna from her, but Kyla is having none of it.
I expected a lot more screaming and, electrocutions here and a lot more biting. Kayla, just give me time. A little bit of space. But it didn't happen. Actually, now with Blommetjie out of the picture, it went really relaxed. And the bigger ones, like Lala and Kayla, they're all like grooming the small babies. And it's really good because this gives an indication that they will be accepted. The only problem is still Blommetjie, but they're really doing good. Kayla's carrying around little Shauna, the new baby without the toes. I mean, it's a new toy, so all the females are around that. This is when you want to have a good hairdresser. Yeah, come to Kayla. Kayla hairdressers. She's good. Gives you a nice afro teased feeling.
It's time for Kiki, Aiko and Aisha's walk. These three cheetahs cannot go back into the wild, but Marlies uses them as ambassadors for cheetah conservation in Namibia.
This is Kiki. This is Aiku, the boy. Aiku is they're 5 years old now, both of them. I got them in when they were around about, a week old. And their mum was shot. Same story. Then people found the babies and they ended up with me. Kiki's got a very gentle character. She's like a real teddy bear. He's a bit grumpy, like the man in the household here. And he's the big boy also. So he doesn't like a lot of attention, a lot of touching. And he would always want to walk off if he doesn't like it. Yeah. So I get warned here. Stop touching me, I'm eating.
Like the leopard cubs, these three would not be able to go back to the wild. Being orphans, they could never develop the necessary survival skills and would simply die if released. The best Marlies can do is to provide them with a life as close to what they would have had in nature. Early morning, and everyone seems to be hungry. The ostrich decides to perform a dance to earn her food.
He's drunk now. Oh, make yourself drunk in the morning, eh?
The babies had spent the night with the juveniles in their enclosure. Taking the group out for a walk gives them the opportunity to explore together in the open veldt. They can also learn from the more experienced older group how to behave in the veldt and how to look for food.
Back. You can see he's a leader, he takes leadership and he's always doing stuff first. And now you can see he's running up the tree and he's exploring. And he's the leader of the small ones. When they're small, males are the leaders, and as they grow older, females will take over.
Late afternoon and time for the cubs' daily walk. Marlies is just too aware of how big they have grown and that they soon will be too big and dangerous to take on these outings.
there's a porcupine down there. The dogs know what they're doing. They've had this interaction already with porcupines in the wild. The two leopards, not at all. So they're basically very insecure and they don't know what to do, but it's also very interesting. So they want to go in and they want to see what's going on. And you can see the Jack Russell, Obud, he goes in first and he's really the smallest one of the bravest and the biggest heart. But that's also a learning school for these two leopards, because they don't have a mom to teach them, and these two dogs are teaching them that, this is the way you do it. But also, it's impossible for the two of them to get that porcupine out of there, because they are well protected, and they will not allow these two leopards to get them.
Let's go probeer. Kom.